I've known Tammy Jensen since I was a child, and I've known her husband for, 30 years. Something I've noticed is they're really prayerful about all the decisions that they make. Hi, my name's Tara. I'm a mother. I'm a therapist. In my past, I was a corporate trainer. I've been a performer. And it's funny because people ask me, why in the world would you invest in a mine in Nigeria? And I think we've all gotten the emails that say, save my sister, she's a princess and she's stuck in a prison and we need money to get her out. And we all just delete those emails, but this was different. My really good friends, Tammy and Peter Jensen, told me about this opportunity. And this isn't our first go-round. I've been with them for 40 years. We've done a lot of things together, and I trust them completely. She's very visionary, and I've seen again and again that the things that she sees, that God shows her, they happen, they come true.
Never in a million years would I have ever thought that Angie Craven would be in Africa. So what do I see leading me to Africa? I would say it began when I met Tammy in 2006. She moved into my neighborhood.
How would I describe them? They're full of integrity, they're kind, they're genuine, and everything that they do with their whole hearts. They're principled people. They're honest. And so when she told me about this mine, it was something that I was just 100% in on. As well as, a lot of us, those of us who invested in this opportunity. And we've got newlyweds with little kids. We've got widows. We have single mothers. These are people who all put in their widow's mite, so to speak. I think one thing that people around the world don't understand is that just because we're American doesn't mean we're loaded, doesn't mean we have all this extra cash to throw into things like this.
So right at the time we heard about the mine and felt really good about investing, we took a look at our savings, and everything that we had saved up for the past few months was exactly the minimum amount to get in on investing in the mine. After some prayer, we still felt it was right. So with that, our savings was back to zero in my parents' basement with a newborn baby. And we just felt it was right and that it was the right thing to do, because we knew that God is bigger than us and He controls our finances, or He loves us and supports us, and He's teaching us stewardship. And I knew that I could trust Him with the guidance to put money in the mine.
How did Victor's choices affect my family? My youngest daughter, as she was approaching college, had been working to save up money to go to school, and is a very conscientious saver, budgeter. She's probably the most fiscally responsible of our family, and we maybe tease her a little bit about that. And interestingly enough, she had been wanting to buy a car, but as she had prayed about it, she just felt unsettled. And as she got closer and closer to going to school, she decided she was going to actually just use a bike. And what she felt to do with some of the money was to invest. So she started learning. My dad is really knowledgeable about investing. And she just started learning about money markets and various things. And so as the summer, I don't remember the exact time frame of when this happened, but I know it was in preparation for school. The opportunity presented itself for Victor in needing some funds to be able to go towards the deep seaport. And he needed to, if I recall, register. I don't know the specifics. It wasn't a large amount, but for her it was. And she and I discussed it. We were actually in a car driving. I do remember pulling over and being in a parking lot and talking about it with her and trying to convey to her Victor's desire to help lift his country and to do good for his country. And that this could be an opportunity. There was no specific return that was promised to her other than he would honor it. And so I told her, this may not be like a traditional investment that you would look towards, but I felt a confirmation from God that it was what she should do, and she felt it was what she should do. And so she did.
You know, I actually wasn't going to invest because I didn't have the extra cash for it. And this one day it just kept coming to my mind over and over again. And God just told me, well, you have that money saved in the safe. And I was like, I don't have any money saved in the safe. And then he reminded me, yeah, I remember you saved that money. And so I went to my safe and there it was, and I had completely forgotten about it. And that's when I knew I was supposed to invest in this mine. When I found out that Victor Thompson had embezzled the money, I was so angry. Not just for myself, but I know some of the people who put money into that. And it was a risk for them too, and it just really made me angry. And I kept praying about it, and this one day, God just said to me, you know, Tammy didn't ask you to invest in the mine. I asked you to invest in the mine.